Hey guys, okay, so let's start this off. So we have got from beginning, reducing balance loans. Okay, so I hope you can see me. So why is reducing balance loans essential? Well, we all need to borrow money in some stage of our lives, and it may be to purchase a car or your first home. Most loans have interest calculated in the remaining balance, and understanding how the loan works and the savings to be made by paying more frequently or just a little bit more helps you to achieve your financial goals. I mean, some people, even if they've got a home loan and they just pay just a little bit more, it reduces the amount of years, you won't believe it, that they have to pay. Let's have a look. So reducing balance loans have the interest calculated on the remaining balance in each interest period. So the mortgage calculator here on the Money Smart website allows you to enter how much you need to borrow and the different variables such as the interest rate and the length of time you take on the interest loan. The online calculator then generates you the size of the regular repayments required for that loan. So it's really good because if you want to buy a house for $200,000, that's the interest rate, you can see whether you can afford it. Okay. So, for example, if you borrow $200,000 over 25 years, which is normal home loan mortgage rates, mortgage years over 5.6 per annum, this is what you would have to pay $1,240 a month to pay that back. Okay, but how much would you actually be paying back? You'd be paying back, because if you paid $1,240 over 12 months for 25 years, you'd be paying $372,000 for that same house. Okay, so how much are you paying extra? You're paying $172,000. That's how much the bank is getting just for lending you that money. Okay, so the total interest is represented by the pink part of the bar graph sitting on top of the principal. So you can see that much more is how much you pay extra. Scary, isn't it? All right, so if we look here, all banks provide loan calculators. So you'll be able to go onto websites and see them to help you. Over here, we're using the Commonwealth Bank calculator. All right, so they're saying your principal and your repayments, and here is a graph. Now they're saying if $200,000 was borrowed at 5.6%, reducible interest over 25 years, the debt remaining would be modeled as. So if you float your cursor above the graph, obviously this is a picture so it won't work, but say we put our cursor there, you'll see that it takes more than 16 years to pay half of the debt and less than 9 years to pay the second half. And think, well, that's weird. But you can see that because in the beginning, your debt is a lot higher than it is at the end, okay, because you're paying it off. We can also see this information in a table by clicking on the top left of the graph, okay. So you see it in a table. The shape of the graph shows that the debt remaining on the loan is slow to decrease at the start, and then it decreases faster towards the end. And this is because the interest is calculated on the reducing balance. So as your balance gets less, so the interest will get less, and therefore you're paying it off quicker, okay? But your repayment stays the same. That's important. All right, so let's look over here at a table. So we start off with $200,000 because that's how much we want to borrow. We then do our normal PIN, which is times our interest times 1 over 12 because it's monthly, and we get our interest, which is 933.33. Now, normally we would be adding that on because that's what we're getting. But in this case, we're going to add it on because it's what we owe, okay? And then the repayment, so every month we're going to be putting in the bank 1241, 124. And so what happens is, here's our principal. That's the interest that the bank is going to put in their pockets. And then we take away what we pay, and we're left with that amount. Then that amount is now our new principal. Apply your interest rate, your monthly. So that's how much the bank's going to put in their bank account. That is how much we are paying the loan off. So you add what the bank is getting, you take away what we're paying, so now we owe that. That goes there. All right. So you've done this one before, but we normally added everything up. This time we're taking away what we're repaying because then we don't have to pay that back. So it's normal I equals PRN. The balance at the end of each month is found by adding the interest. We add the interest and subtracting the repayments. The balance from the previous month becomes the principal for the next month, which is what we've done before. And the interest reduces each month because the balance is reduced. each month. Okay, and if we look at this graph, we can see when comparing the graphs of the debt remaining on simple interest and compound interest. Okay, so 200,000, if we paid simple interest, you can see it's a straight line, and you can see the compound interest is skewy, okay? The simple interest graph is a straight line as the interest remains the same. We don't change it. But this one, remember, it takes a while and then it drops, okay, as the loan is paid off. Look at the costs between. I find this very interesting. If we did simple interest all the way, we would pay 11,500 in interest. If we did compound interest, we pay 6,397. So it's cheaper to use the compound interest because you only pay the interest on what you owe. So if you've paid off more than half of your loan, you only pay interest on half of your loan. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop us there.